guys, welcome back to Debbie's Dolls. Whew. I'm here with, who am I here with? Max. I'm here with Max. I do apologise, I'm still running around like a lunatic getting things done, and I've just got in and I'm absolutely exhausted. To be honest, I just want to flop down on this bed and relax, but I thought, you know what, I said I would do a video and I am going to do that. I am doing a video. Look at me, the martyr. So I'm here with this little guy. Isn't he sweet? I've just changed him out of this that you may remember. That was too big for him. Literally. And put him in this, which is probably a little bit too big for him as well, but he can get away with small newborn sizes. This onesie came from his Auntie Katie, My Little World. So he's just chilling there. He's always so sleepy, isn't he? He's so cute. So the main reason I came back was because I promised Cheryl from Bella Rose Reborn's 2016, told you I got it, Cheryl, that I would tell her a story. Now, this was a story, I don't know how we got on the subject actually, and if I try and remember, then I'm going to be standing here for a while. But for some reason we got onto the subject. Oh yes, we were talking about my street and the strange and interesting things that have gone on in my street. We have had and still have some peculiar neighbours that have done peculiar things, and I said I could write a book. And I'm not going to go into the things that's gone on in our street, but we've had it all. For the quiet little cul-de-sac I live on, you would not believe it. And then I tried to think, you know, what's gone on in my house? What weird things have we contributed to this street? Well, we're pretty nice and sedate and we don't really do anything interesting apart from have these little things in the house. But there was one incident that I did allude to with Cheryl, and that was involving my cat, Cassie. Some of you really remember Cassie. She was a little tabby and white cat with some ginger to her as well. She was a sweet little girl. She had to be put to sleep last October, the end of October, at 21 years old. She was a good age, and she was a sweet little kitty. She was very, very small. We rescued her as a kitten, and her mother had been abandoned, having had a litter of kittens that the owner didn't want. They abandoned the mother and all the kittens, and she never got very big. And she had a little bit of hip dysplasia in her back as well, in her back leg, so she used to kind of walk. She could walk fine, and believe me, she could run and climb like you wouldn't believe. But when she walked, she used to have this sort of wiggle in her back end, which is kind of cute. But she was tiny. She never got very big, and she was always very skinny, even though she ate like a horse. So I'm just giving you a little bit of a picture here of what to envision. So one sunny afternoon, Cassie was out on the street, which I've shown you in previous videos, my little cul-de-sac, as we call them, dead-end street, in case you don't call it that in other places. Yeah, it was a sunny afternoon, a Sunday afternoon, I believe. Yes, it was a Sunday, and it was middle of summer, one of the hottest days, and people had their doors open, their front doors, letting the air circulate. And I was looking out of the front window, and I saw, oh, sorry, I'm not pointing at him, and I saw Cassie wander into the neighbour's house. I'm going to show you through the window, one second, the specific house of the particular neighbour. Ooh, light adjustment. Okay, sorry you're looking through the net curtains, but it's going to be a struggle if I climb over the bed to get the net out of the way. But if you can see that house just there, the creamy colour house, the white door there was wide open. Now, it's not the people who live there now, this is quite a few years ago. So that door was open, and Cassie strolled into that front door. And I shouted to my mum and said, Cassie's just gone in that house. And Mum came to have a look, and we're staring, and we're like, what's she doing in there? Now, we knew Cassie had a habit of wandering into people's houses when she shouldn't, because we've seen her come out of people's bathroom windows before. I told you she could climb. So we're watching her and waiting, thinking she's going to get chased out of there any minute. And suddenly she came out of the house, and she came out of that door and went down, because you can, I don't know if you can see, but there's a gap between that house and that house. And so she came out of the door and went down the side of the house through that gap, dragging a big Sunday joint of meat. Just going to go back to the baby. Yeah, she She came out of the house dragging behind her a joint of beef, lamb, something. It was as big as she was, and she was pulling this joint of meat down there. And Mum and I just sort of stared at her in disbelief as she dragged it off behind them houses. Now, behind those houses, there's like, it's almost like a village green. It's a small grassy area surrounded by houses and trees and things. And we just stood there looking at her with our mouths open, and just kind of decided we would never ever mention this to anyone. So we often think about that family. Now, that family, it's a 2-bedroom house over there, but they had a lot of kids, and we often wonder what they imagined had happened when they went into the kitchen and the Sunday joint was missing out of the kitchen, because obviously she's gone into the house, gone into the kitchen, jumped on the surface, grabbed hold of the meat, pulled it off the unit and strolled out of the house dragging the meat while they were all in the living room. And you can imagine the mother walking into the kitchen to find that the big joint of meat is gone for their Sunday dinner. And it would be a case of which one of the children took the meat. And I imagine them now at Christmas dinners or family get-togethers. All right, you're all grown up now. Come on, tell us, who did you really take that meat? Which one of you took the meat? No, ma'am, wasn't me. No, I didn't take it. What of you took it? No, come on, tell me who. I mean, you know, I'm not going to smack you now. No, really, honestly, ma'am, I don't know what happened to the meat. I don't know. It really wasn't me. One of you took it. No, no, it was my little tabby cat. She dragged it out of your house and down the side to the back. Mum and I never told. I mean, we're not the kind of people that would withhold such information, but those neighbours weren't particularly friendly. They were known for being quite mean, so we weren't going to stroll over there and knock on the door and say, "Excuse me, our little tabby just stole your Sunday dinner." But that did happen. Little Cassie did do that. She stole a joint of meat that was bigger than her. So there you go, Cheryl. That's what I was talking about when I said we did have a cat burglar in our house. But there we go. There's this little guy. In other news, Max will be looking for a new mummy soon. I've been changing things around. I got Mary found a new mum, and she's now Emma, by the way. Little Mary is now Emma. That was my Celeste kit by Cindy Moser-Grove. And she had to go so that I could get Mary. And, well, things are changing in my nursery, and there are other sculpts that I really want to get. I really want to get the Tink sculpt when that one comes out and things. So I like to look at my collection, and as you know, I've talked about this before, how I have my favourites in the collection, and they're the ones that I just couldn't see my collection being without. So I have to look to the babies that aren't in my favourite collection. Unfortunately, that would be this little guy. That doesn't mean to say I don't love him. I do. He's such a sweet little face. But looking at him and all my other babies, yeah. But it's the only way I can make room, literally. So, not immediately. I'm going to stay with his mummy for a little bit longer, but he will be looking for a new mummy in time. And he is the Thomas Asleep kit by Bountiful Babies, a real born. And they have the most amazing feet. And I have the worst light in the world. There he is. But I'm gonna take him downstairs, and I'm gonna enjoy him for a little while longer before he goes. But he was made by Perfect Bliss Nursery. Evonik Perfect Bliss Nursery. So yeah, he will be looking for a new mummy, and I'm thinking about selling a couple of my Ashton Drakes as well. Actually, I'm thinking I might do a giveaway with one of them. You know, maybe when I get 400 subscribers or something, I will do a giveaway with one of my Ashton Drakes. But if you want to grow your collection, sometimes you have to let babies go, and that's what I will have to do. But other babies, and I think you probably can tell which are my favourite babies. Other babies I just couldn't let go of. So, yeah. Excuse me wobbling there. Like this one. Hi! There she is. Hi, Owen. There's that one there. But, yeah, that's the news. So I'm going to go because I am so exhausted, which is probably why I'm shaking so much. I need to go have myself a cup of tea and make something to eat and relax. And I don't need to go anywhere tomorrow. finally I can have a day where I don't need to do any shopping or go pick up any prescriptions or anything like that. I can finally relax. So I'm going to leave this little guy with, ironically I've put a onesie on him that says I'm so happy. Oh, one other thing. Neelix. People were asking about Neelix. Neelix was at the vet yesterday, as you will know if you watched yesterday's video, and he's had his eye checked over. He got into a fight a while ago, if you may remember. Actually, he was getting bullied more like, and I'm not being defensive because I'm talking about my baby. I just know he is a very soft cat and he gets on with other cats in the neighbourhood, but there's a cat that's literally harassing every cat around. And it scratched his cornea and he was having drops for ages. He's still having drops in his eyes, actually. Been told to use them until they run out. But the vet says his eye is clean. It doesn't need removing. He doesn't have glaucoma or any infection in there, so he won't need the eye removing, but it's unlikely he'll get back his sight fully. He has a little bit of vision in that eye, but it's not really going to fully recover in any way, so he's probably going to be pretty much blind in that eye. But at least he doesn't need it removing, and he is functioning very well, so that's the news on him. Very pleased he doesn't need the eye removing. We just have to keep a lookout and make sure it doesn't start to weep or look inflamed in any way, because if it does get sickly, then he will unfortunately have to have it removed. But right now, he's doing pretty well. Okay, now I really am going, honestly. Okay, bye guys!